Hello friends and welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host Tom Downey. Yes, we will talk about Ezekiel Elliott, his contract, his holdout, Dak and Amari as well. But there is one notable news item I want to get out of the way. As you guys, I assume, all know by now, Rico Gathers has been cut. Tyvis Powell comes in. They do still have one more roster spot if they want to use it. But Powell is the latest addition by the Dallas Cowboys. Oh look! It's a former Seahawks defensive back. Powell played under Chris Richard in Seattle. Good size, 6'2", 211 pounds. Got a start last year for the 49ers. Has been more of a bounce around type of player. Hasn't played in a ton of multiple spots there. So he's played with multiple teams throughout his NFL career. Big thing for him, he's played every defensive back spot. Outside corner, nickel corner, strong, and free safety, some linebacker even in terms of where he lines up on the field. He brings extra depth to the Cowboys at the defensive back spot. And in reality, they've got great depth overall. But remember, in terms of preseason week 1, Byron Jones is out. He's hurt right now. CJ Goodwin has missed time. Chris Westry has missed some time. You need just bodies at cornerback, especially given how often teams go 3-4 wide in the preseason, and you're not going to play Cheeto, Anthony Brown much, if at all, in week 1 of the preseason. So from that perspective, Cowboys wanted just a little bit more depth because of some minor injuries. All right, guys, I want to reach 30K before week 1 of the preseason. It's almost here. It's coming up Saturday against the 49ers, and I want to have a preseason watch party. I'm not sure, though, if the bosses are going to let us do it unless we reach 30K. We're getting close, approaching 29.6, but let's get to 30K. The link is below if you need it there. By the way, if you watch on Facebook, it's only going to be on YouTube. So, make sure you're subscribed. If you're watching on YouTube, it's your first time, or you watch all the time, but you aren't subscribed, weird flex, but, okay. Just go ahead and hit that big red button and subscribe to us here on YouTube. Now let's move into Zeke Elliott and the just complete freakout that's going on right now. Not that I am surprised. I'll make one quick note right now as we look through everything. The timing of all of these reports and leaks is by no means an accident. You guys know today's August 6th. The report from ESPN's Josina Anderson is that Zeke will not play at all without a new contract from the Cowboys. I will make note, though, that's kind of what a holdout is, though. Like, it is different, technically. It's a new report, but also the whole point of a holdout is to get a new deal. Now, Anderson also reports that really both sides of the Cowboys and Zeke expect a deal will get done. The problem lies right now in that doesn't make any sense, in what the Cowboys have offered. There we go. Don't need the word with in there at all. Zeke, no surprise here, he wants a Todd Gurley contract, i.e. like Stephen Jones said he was going to pay him at the NFL Combine. That's 4 years, about $14.4 million per year, 57 plus total over that extension only. However, and Stephen Jones made this point a couple different times now, including today, the market kind of got reset. Lev Bell says pay Zeke, but the Cowboys are offering a little bit more of a Le'Veon Bell type deal. $13.3 million per year, and far less in total guaranteed money. That's noteworthy there, and that's, I think, the big reason why Zeke continues to hold out from Cowboys camp. Now, we'll get some more on Zeke here in a little bit, but I will make note, the latest betting odds are out, and the expectation is that, yes, Zeke does still play for the Dallas Cowboys in week 1 of the regular season. Minus 200 is the yes bet. Plus 150 says no. Look, it's August 6th. There's still time for Zeke to show up, but as we sit here filming this just after 3 p.m. Central Time, doesn't look likely he's going to show up at all for that August 6th deadline. And if you guys like betting on sports, go to MyBookie, chatsports.com/Cowboys, and only for you Cowboys fans out there, an exclusive promo code. That's Go Cowboys. 100% deposit bonus. You put down $50, they match. Put down $100, they also match it. You will not find a better betting deal out there than the one at MyBookie, chatsports.com/Cowboys. Promo code is Go Cowboys for 100% deposit bonus. All right, back to Zeke here. As I mentioned, it seems like the Cowboys, and really, not even seems, Stephen Jones confirmed it today, Lev Bell reset the market. They want to use that as the baseline, not the Todd Gurley deal. The reality is, right now, with leaks coming out from both camps, the posturing has truly begun for both sides. That's where we're at. The Cowboys leaked, hey, we're giving fair offers. Zeke leaks, hey, I'm not going to play at all this year because there's not a whole lot of leverage left there for Zeke. Now, August 6th is today's deadline, and I put deadline in quotes as I've done verbally a couple of times here, and I guess with my actual hands in quotes there. Maybe I haven't done the best of explaining why this is still a factor, and if not, I'm sorry, we'll do it right now, though. August 6th is the 30-day deadline before the season starts to accrue a year for NFL free agency, if Zeke does not accrue a year now. However, Zeke can't reach free agency until 2021. He is under contract next year because he has a fifth-year option. But if he doesn't show up today, that means if he holds out again next year, next offseason, next training camp, he does not become an unrestricted free agent. He becomes an RFA. It's what Jalen Smith is going through right now. He's only got 3 accrued years. Therefore, he's an RFA this upcoming offseason. So for Zeke, this limits his options in terms of a long-term outlook and his leverage, because he has to show up at some point this year. His contract will toll, meaning it will roll over. It will not count for this current year if he sits out past week 10. So if Zeke takes I'm not showing up at all without a new deal, and he gets past week 10, well, then all of a sudden, now he's not a free agent until 2022 at the earliest. So what I take this to mean, I think this is Zeke's mindset here. This is a signal that Zeke is digging in to get the deal done now, not next offseason. If the goal is pay Zeke somebody at some point, this is a weird path and it's not the right way to go about it. But if the goal is, hey, Cowboys, pay me right now, now the lens, it looks a little bit more clear. It makes a little bit more sense. Now, it is not the end-all, be-all that Zeke is not here on August 6th. It never was the end-all, be-all. But it is noteworthy. It means that this is not, at least for now, an empty threat from Zeke, hence the leak of, I'll sit out regular season games if I have to. So what's your panic level at right now? Let me know. Rate it for me on a scale of 1 to 10. As I said before, I was at like a 5-ish, somewhere in that range, and this bumps it up to a 6 or 7. It will continue to rise. This is not something that can just be brushed away and said, it's not a big deal. Zeke's not here. It's fine. It doesn't matter. I don't think it's a 10. It's not a full-on meltdown. But he's not here. That remains a pretty big deal for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, elsewhere in the contract world, the Cowboys, and have pretty much confirmed this from Stephen Jones. By the way, it's funny to me that pretty much all of the Cowboys reporters had the exact same tweet coming out this morning of, they've offered fair and generous. It feels like the Cowboys sent reply all on one of the group chats and just sent to everybody there. Anyway, they've leaked and said that they have generous offers and fair offers out to all 3 players, Dak, Amari, and Zeke. And they're also upset, by the way, with the lack of engagement from the other side, the agents involved there. And, by the way, the deals would make all 3 players among the top five, highest paid players at their respective positions. And that shouldn't be a huge surprise. That's kind of your minimum. If you're not offering top 5 money, then kind of what are you doing? And for these 3 players, the salaries look very different. Dak is making $2 million. That's it. That's base salary, but by the way, he has like no real signing bonus there relative to Zeke, who had a much higher one. Zeke makes almost 4, little under 4. And Amari Cooper, meanwhile, is approaching $14 million. Maybe that's why Cooper is so willing to wait, and because he's a receiver, no, he's going to get paid in the very near future. This is still posturing by the Dallas Cowboys, and they still remain confident that they're going to get a deal done, but their mindset is, we're not going to overpay. We have our price tags in mind. Maybe the agents will get back to us, and we'll bump our figure up. The Cowboys definitely want to pay Dak Prescott. They also don't just want to come in with a super high number, and Dak accepts and goes, oh no, we overpaid Dak and got him for more than what we could have gotten him at. Now, top 5 money. That means the offer to Dak Prescott was at least $30 million. Now, I'll make note as well, structure super important here. If it's a super end of year, and like 5th year of contract, all base salary, no guarantees, and it bumps the average number up, well, then it's kind of a little bit deceptive there. Issue is for Dak's camp, well, Carson Wentz just got 32. Tom Brady is now getting 27, as he does not take a team-friendly deal. Oh, look, shocker. Meanwhile, for Dak, his team has not gotten back. At least that's the report from the Cowboys side. I still want this deal done before Jared Goff, but at this point, it's not on the Cowboys here. A little bit more on Dak to get going, and he would be smart to wait for Jared Goff's deal. Now, there has been a recent idea floating out here on Twitter, and the Cowboys have said they are willing to enter this year as making it a prove-it contract year for Dak, Amari, and Zeke if it comes to that. So should the Cowboys make Dak prove it? Type Y for yes, type N for no. If you believe Dak Prescott is your guy, the difference in $2-3 million means you probably shouldn't wait, just pay him now. But if you're unconvinced, and I understand why, well, then maybe the answer here is yes. And by the way, you could have an unusual idea if you want to approach it this way. What if Zeke really does sit out 4 or 5 games? You might have a unique opportunity to see if Dak Prescott truly is your guy, if you don't believe that he is. What if Zeke sits out a couple of games? You have Amari out there. Can the offense be enough without Zeke? If it is, well then now you feel really confident about it. Maybe that's worth waiting and paying an extra 3 or whatever million. Or if Dak Prescott struggles, well now maybe you don't want to invest in Dak, or maybe you get him way cheaper. Just throwing that out there as an option. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Moving on now to Amari Cooper. Stephen Jones has said there's been no new dialogue, and Cooper, even more so than Dak and Zeke, he's just happy to be here, having a good time, and he knows he's going to get paid. He plays receiver. The market keeps going up. He has no issue saying, you know what, I'm going to sit, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to get paid. Michael Thomas, he just got 19.25. Julio Jones, you're coming up for a new deal. Not picture DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to want to get paid soon too. The cap rises each and every single year. Cowboys offer me, let's just say 16.5. I'll wait a month. I'll wait 2 months. Oh, look, now I'm making 17.5, or I'm making 18 million. So for Cooper, even more so than Zeke and Dak Prescott, I think he is very much in the, I'm just going to wait. I have no rush. I'll get paid. I'm a receiver. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to focus on being with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, and this is not something I've mentioned before, and I frankly should have. Shout out Joey X for bringing it up and reminding me. There is a unique quirk to this year's team, or for the Cowboys and contracts from the CBA. In most cases, almost every other year out there, you can offer one of a franchise tag or a transition tag. You can hit one player with that. It's been DeMarcus Lawrence as of late, but you can't use both. However, the 2020 offseason is the quote-unquote final league year of the CBA. And the CBA dictates that if teams want, they can actually use both. So if there's no new CBA agreed to between now and when that happens, all of a sudden, the Cowboys can dare Zeke to hold out and not come back, franchise tag Dak, and transition tag Amari Cooper, and not give any of them an extension. That's more leverage right there for the Dallas Cowboys, and that has really not been mentioned at all. I want to make note of it right now. That is notable for the Dallas Cowboys. That gives them extra leverage here. So keep that in mind. Now, we need a break here from all the salary cap talk and everyone getting angry at each other. So maybe you saw this on Twitter. If you have kids, or hypothetically speaking, 30 to 50 feral hogs attack you. How do you defend yourself? What do you do? I'll give some shout-outs here on air. It's a different question, but we need to have a little light humor here because this is all very serious stuff and it's boring and all that. So how would you protect your children or yourself to 30 to 50 feral hogs, a.k.a. like Arkansas Razorbacks, the actual pig, attack you? What do you do? How do you defend yourself? Do you think you can handle them barehandedly? Let me know in the comment section. How do you defend yourself? Someone just says climb a tree, hope you're fast. Good answers. Tad's telling me crossbows, roundhouse kicks, nuke 'em, run. That's funny there, kick 'em. It's a lot of kicks that they're out there. Keep those comments coming, and hopefully you guys found that at least just a little bit funny. Moving now to Randy Gregory, because it's so confusing. Speaking of that hog thing, what's going on right now with Gregory? So, Pro Football Talk reports, actually, Gregory hasn't applied for reinstatement yet, which is weird because Mike Fisher has reported not once but twice that no, Gregory has applied for reinstatement. And he reports said he was going to apply during the week of July 16th and then never followed up. So I guess he hasn't applied for reinstatement yet. Look, we'll figure it out when we figure it out. I'm pretty concerned about the contract stuff, by the way. Also, going back to the hog thing, shout out Zeno Sayan, who says they would just sacrifice me to outrun the hogs there. Thank you for that. I appreciate you offering me up as an option. Now, defensive end depth chart, they've got plenty of options there. Lawrence and Quinn and Crawford. It becomes a little bit awkward if the Cowboys get Randy back. And with 9 deep, if you include Randy Gregory, I would not be surprised at some point if you end up seeing a trade completed by the Dallas Cowboys. Not necessarily involving Randy or like a Tyrone Crawford, but maybe you shop Taco Charlton. Just throwing that out there as a possibility for the Dallas Cowboys because of their extreme depth at the defensive end spot. All right, some shout-outs here from you guys who have DM'd me on Twitter. Shout out Matt. That's Anthony Ravenscroft. It was kind of long, so we made it A. Sorry. There's B-Rhett. No relation to producer Brett Scott, by the way. We got King in there, and then Carson Goff as well, who I believe is the secret son of Carson Wentz and Jared Goff, but don't quote me on that one. Meantime, we'll look at some potential undrafted free agent sleepers. Here we go. Someone asked me in the comments, who are some players that haven't really been mentioned that are standing out? Luke Gifford's one of them. Shout out John Machado of The Athletic, who says that Gifford has taken some first team reps on special teams. That's kind of a big deal, guys, because if you're getting first team reps, that's a very clear sign at minimum you are under consideration for one of those last roster spots. He is now absolutely a player to watch in the preseason. Remember that, of course, Sean Lee is banged up right now. Jalen Smith, LV, we know how great those are. Joe Thomas is going to make this team. That leaves you 4 locks. I think Justin March, Lillard, and Chris Covington are on the safer side, but Dallas went 7 deep at linebacker this year for special teams. And Gifford, who, if you want a player comparison, he could be the new Kyle Wilber. Similar type of player, a Sam linebacker, was kind of an edge linebacker tweener coming out of Nebraska there. So I'm very curious to see what Luke Gifford does both on special teams. I'm going to closely watch that in the preseason. Who is actually out there with the first team special teams units? If Gifford's there, take hint, that means he's probably going to make the 53-man roster. He's definitely a player to watch. But what other players will you watch closely versus the 49ers in week 1 of the preseason? You're not going to be able to watch Dak. You're not going to be able to watch anybody else. Dak is not going to play the starters. What depth guys are you going to watch? Let me know in the comments section. I'll move on now to our next note here. That is Noah Brown. Namely, if you're a member of the 85 Hive, which I am not the founding member, though, to be fair, you should be excited right now because Stephen Jones today, he kind of hyped up Noah Brown. He made it sound like Noah Brown is going to make this team because they have a role for him and he's an NFL player, and that they got 5 NFL players at wide receiver. And he also mentioned Tavon Austin before this. So with what Stephen Jones said, there's the top 5 for this team at receiver. Cooper, Gallup, Cobb, Tavon, and Noah Brown. Now, I think Dallas carries 6 receivers, so take your pick. John Vay Johnson, Reggie Davis, Jalen Guyton, Cedric Wilson, Devin Smith, also Lance Lauren, who's banged up right now, so I left him off that list. But you got, say, 6 guys for 1 spot. So who do you want on the team? Let me know in the comment section. Do you want John Vay Johnson, Jalen Guyton, Cedric Wilson, Davis, Devin Smith, or Lance Lauren? Maybe you want the speed. I'll make note. I think John Vay Johnson and Davis have made the biggest impact so far, still early, I should say, in Cowboys training camp so far. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.